who told me that I had a tumour and it was gradually working upwards, and it had got as far as my vocal cords, and the only option was to remove my vocal cords. So I went with that. End of story. I speak at esophageal speech, which is taking a deep breath and then using that breath to project your voice. But I don't take a deep breath. I somehow just talk. I've been showing my dogs at dog shows that I've qualified for Crufts. I got a second at Crufts with my dog. It was the first time I went to a dog show and everybody was saying, wow, what have you had done? But I just explained, or if my voice wasn't particularly good, because most of them are outdoors, and if it's windy, I do struggle a bit. But they were fine. Everybody was good. Towards the end, I had to say, I can't run my dog anymore, but I always had to go up to the judge's table and ask if it was okay for Dave, my husband, to run the dog, and it was always yes. I haven't stopped doing anything I really want to do, but I also think you have to get it right in your head, and until you get to that place, I think you can sit there and go, oh dear, what am I going to do? But I have a lovely husband, 2 friends, and they were not going to let me sit down and take root in a chair. And we go away, not abroad, because I don't like flying, but we go everywhere. And I wasn't going to let myself vegetate. I went to a championship dog show in Blackpool in a wheelchair that I told my husband I needed, but then all of a sudden I said, fed up with this, I'm walking. And I went, I enjoyed it, but I still was in a little bit of my own comfort zone. I used to go to Valve Clinic and see a lovely nurse called Andrew and speech therapist Louise and say, look, got something stuck in my valve. But it wasn't, I just needed reassuring that I was on the right track. And all of a sudden, I did have to have my speaking valve taken out. And that was it. I thought, no way am I going to sit down. I usually just sort of introduce myself, say, look at me, 5 years down the line, but I was like this 4 years ago or less. And each day you will feel dreadful for the first week, 10 days, and every day you will get a little bit better and better. And when you've got it right in your head and you know where you're going, you'll be fine. And if you haven't got anybody at home, then they know where to go for some help, with Fine House and any other cancer place. I would still be showing my dogs. The only thing I did have to worry about is people's attitude to me. But then I do something absolutely stupid and then I laugh and I think, well, it's their problem, not mine. And I have done some really stupid things. But I did one the other week, coming down from Windermere. I always put lip gloss or lipstick. So there was me, mirror down, opened it up, got my lipstick, and I went. Dave went, the when we had the motor, you know, I had to have the tube in when I had my flaps, and I coughed, and the dog caught it in his mouth, and he looked as though he'd got a dummy. That was the Rizzler, and he was going. And I mean, when you do things like that, you can't help but laugh at yourself. And I think you have to laugh at yourself, which. Oh, I've done some funny things. I really have, really have. But I think it's the attitude that you have. Okay, I know I'm a bit over the top, but you have to have the ability, A, to laugh at yourself, B, you've got to get on with it, because nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Dave doesn't feel sorry for me. Well, he does when I'm having a coughing fit, because it sounds so bad. But then he goes, oh, come on. I still have a few hang-ups. Then I also had another cancer that I had 2 years chemo. I just had to get on with that. They thought it was marvellous, having a laryngectomy. Yeah, it was indolent. And in 3 years I went. No, 2 years. And I finished chemo last September. There was one day when I really, really felt bad. And I shut myself off for half a day. But then when you've got dogs that want feeding and they come up to you and wag their tails, no way. You've got to get on with it. Everybody says I'm a good example. People think I'm wonderful and good. And I think, no, I don't. I just get on with it. I don't want the other adjectives to go with it. I'm normal. And that's the whole thing, isn't it? We are normal. We just have a problem.